So speaking of trust eroding over the course of the pandemic, I have a feeling you have some opinions on how vaccine mandates might have affected that. Has your opinion of vaccine mandates regarding COVID or other vaccines evolved over these years?
Yes. I mean, here's the way it played out. But although it's a great question because it has evolved, and here's why. Because I would have predicted what happened. First of all, you shouldn't need mandates. I mean, I would argue I was an informed person about vaccines. I read the 300 pages that we had to read for Pfizer's vaccine and the 300 pages we had to read for Moderna's vaccine. I think I was an informed citizen about those vaccines and couldn't wait to get them. I mean, you didn't have to mandate it for me. But what happened was certainly early in the pandemic, when those vaccines first came out, I mean, we were overwhelmed. We're a children's hospital. I mean, the adult hospitals were also overwhelmed. There were predictions that if you had 100% of your ICU filled, that within 2 weeks you would have in excess of as many as 80,000 deaths in that area because you were unable to provide adequate care for those not only that had COVID, but for the other patients in your hospital. And we, like many hospitals, canceled all elective surgery. So the healthcare system was overwhelmed. You know that this vaccine, because there's study after study that has shown this, you know that if you get a vaccine and then you get COVID, that you will shed less virus. You know you will be less likely to transmit it. You know that in 2021, you were 12 times more likely to be hospitalized if you were vaccinated than if you weren't. And in 2022, 6 times more likely. So you shouldn't have had to have mandated the vaccine, but we were trying to save the healthcare system. And it frankly was galling to me. I know I should be more sympathetic than this, but it was galling to me when people would say, no, I don't want to get the vaccine, but I'm perfectly willing to burden the healthcare system because I've chosen not to get a vaccine. So that is enormously selfish. So yes, I thought mandates made sense. Now, however, in retrospect, I think when you see all this legislative pushback against mandates, I mean, it's become this thing where, 35% of the American public, according to Kaiser Family Foundation, said that they wonder whether or not we really need school mandates. You have now clearly an erosion in, or an increase in non-medical exemptions, philosophical, religious exemptions. The CDC put that data out last November. And you now have measles in 15 states. I mean, is that going to be the consequence of these mandates? And I sat next to a prominent public health official during I'm not going to name who that was, but I sat next to a very prominent public health official at Rosalynn Carter's funeral. I was at Grace Memorial Church, and she said to me, I think we should have never mandated this vaccine. And I think that's why.